Hey everyone, welcome to HackTable2021. We're glad to have you here, and we have a first workshop from Symbl.ai. Symbol is a conversation intelligence platform enabling developers to easily build and extend apps to transcribe and contextualize a natural human conversation on voice, video, and text. So without further ado, here's Symbol.ai, Akanksha, and Eric.
Hi everyone, welcome to Symbl.ai one-on-one. We would love to know from which part of the world you have joined in the stream.
Welcome, Symbol.ai.
So we have Jayesh. Hi Jayesh. We have Dhruv Shah.
We also have EverSTEM Education.
Yeah.
Where are you joining from, Jayesh and Drew?
Okay, let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Akanksha Bhasin. I'm a community advocate at Symbol.ai, and with me we have Eric Giannini. Hi Eric.
Hey.
So let's get started for the hackathon. I hope you are having good time preparing for the hackathon. So we are here to present the session on Symbol.ai. So a brief introduction about what Symbol is, and so the objective of this session is to provide an overview of Symbol.ai platform, its product, their APIs. So Symbol.ai is a conversation intelligence platform for automated speech recognition on multiple channels like text, voice, or video calls. Symbol's suite of APIs enables developers to track the highest point of artificial intelligence in calls with fully programmable endpoints for triggering application specific logic to derive results. So, conversation AI for Symbol.ai covers human to human conversation that we call as natural conversations. So, in layman terms, we enable developers to integrate AI with their applications to understand natural human conversation. They can easily transcribe or extract contextual insights and intelligence from any conversation. So, let me state an example like we have so many meetings daily, and it's impossible to keep a note of all the meetings, insights like topics, action items, follow ups, or summary. And let's say if someone in our team is on leave, and sending them the whole 2 hour recording of the meeting won't help them much. How about Symbol joining that conversation and analyzing the whole text and video and sending us actionable items irrespective of the topics that are important, hence saving a lot of time. And in Symbol, you don't need to gather data, label it, or analyze it. You just focus on the building the right end user experience, and you could simply drop an API in your conversation workflow to get actionable insights. You don't need to train data with upfront training or weak words. And we are domain agnostic as well, and we have multiple third party integrations with the Amazon Chime, Twilio, Agora, Trello, Jira. So before getting started, let me drop you the link of the platform.symbol.ai. So this will enable you to get 3000 minutes. So this is exclusive for the hackathon participants. So let me drop it over here. I've just dropped in the chat section. We have Jayesh from India. We have Dhruv from SF. We have Ivy. Hi, Ivy from US. Kato from Aussie. I can share my screen and you know how it looks.
Oh, whoa, we've got Anani Crane from India. India's a big place. Which part?
Uh, and have you all signed up on platform.symbol.ai? You must have got like app ID and app secret. Let me know in the comment section.
Yep, what
So
you
I'm
guys are
also,
looking at right there is Symbl.ai's platform page. Inside of the platform page, you'll find your app ID and your app secret. With those two pieces of credentials, you'll be able to create an API key with which to make API calls. In addition to those two pieces of credentials, in the platform page, you also have an API playground.
yep, I'm also dropping the link to the Postman collection as well. 1 second.
Great. Akanksha is going to go ahead and walk you through the process of enabling the Postman app with the Symbl.ai's collection.
So I'm just clicking on developer space. So this will like redirect to my Postman. So here we go. So in the meantime, like till you are figuring out, I would also like to discuss about the APIs that we have. So we have a streaming API that's based on the WebSocket protocol and it's used for real-time use cases. Then we have the async API. As the name says, it's asynchronous, like the availability of resource or services may not be immediate. Here we can process the uh, text, audio, or video recordings. And then we have the telephony API. It's based on the PSTN and SIP protocols. The telephony API provides an interface for the developers to have Symbol join VoIP calls and get the results in real time. Like optionally, the developers can trigger an email at the end of the conversation containing the URL to view the whole transcription. So even the Symbol.ai can join your Zoom call and your phone call through this telephony API. And we also have a pre-built UI, so that comes under the conversation API. So for users to interact with say Symbols API, we get the whole output over here in the experience section. So I will walk you through the whole process. So let's get started. I've opened. Okay. So click on Symbol APIs. Under Symbol APIs, just click on authentication. So under the authentication, click on generate token. So on the right hand side, so before starting the project, we need to add our app ID as well as app secret in the project. So what we need to do is click on this that environment quick look. So here you can add your app ID and app secret. So just click on the platform and grab your app ID, copy it and paste it over here. Like in the initial value, do mention the variables. Either you can make it global or you can make a new environment. Here you can app ID and app secret is always the same, so you don't need to make it again and again. You can just define it once. So I have pasted my app ID over here. Now just click on app secret, I have copied, and since I've already done this process many times before, so I pasted my app secret over here. After you add your app ID and app secret in the initial value, just click on save, and now you can close it. Now click on the body. So under the body section, under the app ID, add two curly braces and add a placeholder for app ID. So you don't need to paste app ID and app secret over here since we have already declared in the environment. And just paste your write a placeholder for app secret in these two curly braces, and then click on send. So it's a post request that I'm sending. So after clicking on send, I got a status 200 OK, which means it's valid. I got an access token. It also tells its validity. It expires in this much time. I hope everyone is following till then.
Great job, Akanksha.
Thank you, Eric.
I think if you guys have questions about the flow that Akanksha just followed, it would be a great time to ask right now in the chat. If you're confused about the Postman collection, or if you're confused about where to get your API key or your app secret, or how to make a post request to fetch your access token, right now is the time to raise your hand and say, hey, go over this part, go over that part. If we don't hear anything in the chat in the next 30 seconds, Akanksha is going to take off.
Yeah. So let me know if there are any comments. Okay, we have one question. Are we to follow along? Yeah, you can follow along. It's very easy process. So I can just walk you over once again. First, like we have just dropped in the link for platform.symbol.ai. It gets you 1,000 minutes, but we have provided a special promo link which provides you 3,000 minutes. So just click on platform.symbol.ai, sign up, and on the front page you will get your app ID as well as app secret. And then we have also dropped in the Postman collection in the chat as well. I hope you got it.
Yeah. Also, another thing that we have set up for developers is our Slack channel. If you look down at the bottom left-hand corner of the platform page that Akanksha is showing you, you can join now. And if you didn't want to raise your hand right now, or if you felt that it would be easier for you to send us a direct message, Slack is the best place to do that. You can sign up for your free Symbol.ai account, and then you can go ahead and you can join the Slack channel and reach out to us directly.
Yeah. So we have this support channel as well. You can raise your doubts anytime if you get stuck. So like our engineers are available 24/7 due to multiple time zones. I'm from India, Eric is from US, and we have other folks also. So that's our Slack channel. So once you open your Postman collection, just click on Postman for web, or even you can download it. And now just click on environment variables, grab your app ID and app secret from here and initialize it with a variable. So I've written like app ID and app secret, and I've added all these values. Then we just need to authenticate before uh, using any APIs. We need to generate a token. So I've written a placeholder for app ID and app secret. I click on send. So it's a post request. I got an access token. So that's the process. So talking about async API, since it's asynchronous, we can transcribe or maybe analyze and get sentiments out of short transcript, maybe long transcript. We can also have emails as well, and there are audios and videos. So today we will be going to do a short demo on Hello World Symbol.ai program. So let's get started. So just click on text short transcript and now click on body. So you might have got this message. You can add your name. Let's say I've written my name, and you can add Hello, so this is a live demo at HackTable Hackathon. So I wrote my message over here. Then I click on send.
Oh, whoa. You just configured that payload, didn't you, Akanksha?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So as you can see in the results, like status 201 created, it worked well. We got a conversation ID. I can copy it. I can grab this conversation ID and we will use it to get the conversation API up and running. So it's for getting the experience. So now click on converse under the conversation API, click on get conversation. So now paste your conversation ID, which you got under the async part, and now click on send. So it means it worked well. Postman also shows the start time and end time. So that's the timestamp. Today is 23rd of June. It also shows the timings as well as ID and my name and the email at which the whole transcription will be sent. So we have multiple things like message transcript, members. Since it's only me, we won't require any members. Let's say there is a meeting where are 3 or 4 members and we want to analyze the whole video. We can also update the members, and we have this cool concept called speaker direction as well. So all these are used for getting like I can show, but right now there are no questions since only text. But let's say if we have a very big conversation, we can also get questions as well over here. You just need to paste your conversation ID. So there are no questions. So now click on post experience. Now I'm pasting my conversation ID over here, and now I click on send. So there's a URL generated. Let me show you how it looks.
One quick interruption. We have a
Yeah.
question in the chat relating to Symbol. So I just put it up on the screen really quickly. So if you guys could answer that.
Yeah, definitely. The question is a great question. I think that anyone who doesn't have coding experience can definitely benefit from what Akanksha is showing you right now. One of the bases for programming is an understanding of RESTful APIs. Through interacting with Symbol APIs, you're able to pick up the basics of RESTful APIs. So following along with Akanksha's Postman demo, you can take a first step into the area of coding. Do you have anything else to say on that question, Akanksha?
I completely agree. So Postman, it makes your life quite easy. You can like use your APIs quite well, and since Eric have answered it, great. Uh, yeah, that's all. You just need some knowledge about how HTTP works, how post request get request is working. Rest, it's good to go with.
Yeah, I completely agree. On that note, let's go ahead and push forward.
Hmm. Yeah. So I pasted my URL over here. So it shows the time, the date, the attendees, the summary topics. So topics, the discussion was about Hacktable Hackathon. Let's say we have a very big conversation. We can have topics like, let's say there's a debate going on, something related to maybe environment. So maybe uh, pollution or air or maybe some statistics. So we get topics listed over here. So this is how the transcript shows. Hello. So this is a live demo at Hacktable Hackathon. So similarly, we have other
Oh, could you
things
go
as
back to
well.
the experience page really quick, Akanksha?
Yeah.
One of the things that's great about topics right now is that a lot of companies are offering voice based chatting services like Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces. With the Symbl.ai's topics feature, you could program our APIs to display a list of topics for each room that a participant is not in, so that that participant can get a view of what people are talking about in rooms where they're not present. And then on the back end, you could configure a profile matching algorithm to match the topics of interest that are being discussed in these rooms or spaces or clubhouses, so that you can you could drive greater real-time engagement. Well, that's just one of the ways that you can use Symbol.ai and the things that Akanksha are showing you to add an additional experience to the conversations that occur in real time, be they voice, video, messaging, or broadcast.
Yep. You can build your own RT experience as well. So now let me hand over to Eric.
Wonderful. It's going to take me a second here to share my screen. We're going to go ahead and transition now into a demo of what you can do with Symbl.ai's Python SDK. Cool. So let me go ahead and drag this to another spot on my desktop. Cool. Okay, so I just want to be clear. Does everyone see this page right here? The docs page?
Yes. Yes, it's visible.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So in addition to our Postman collection, which is one of the developer tools that we have available for developers, we also have SDKs. And we are currently in the process of recreating both our JavaScript as well as Node.js SDKs into an entirely different SDK for you to be able to build out your web development experiences with Symbl.ai. Right now, we also have a Python SDK. Python is a famous tool for data scientists. And right now, there's a tremendous opportunity for anyone who's in the field of data science to work on conversation data. Conversation data is one of the few things that few people take into consideration as a source of analysis. Symbol Python SDK, you can create analyses of conversation that go beyond merely displaying lists of numbers. You can also create or transform conversations into visualizations. You can take elements of a conversation, you can plot them along the X or Y axes of a graph, and you can apply the timestamps to those graphs as well as the values that you might get from something like polarity to create a time series analysis. In our demo, that is exactly what we plan to do. So in addition to giving you a brief overview of the Python SDK, we'll also be working with pandas and matplotlib. So the Symbol Python SDK is designed to handle many of the requests that Akanksha demonstrated inside of the Postman collection. So it is essentially a wrapper around Symbl.ai's APIs, but is much more. It can also enable you to engage in the creation of new experiences for conversations by adding the libraries that are critical to data science like pandas or matplotlib. To enable the Python SDK, there are a few prerequisites, and one of the prerequisites is that you install Python. So one of the ways that you can install Python is to do pip install. I like to use Homebrew. We don't have an integration guide for Homebrew on our documentation page, but it is easy to find an integration guide for installing Python through Homebrew on the internet. The other thing that we wanted to mention is that in terms of the configuration, there's really two ways to handle our app ID or app secret. We will handle the app ID and the app secret inline, but for production, you'll want to create an entirely different scenario for a production token server or some other configuration. And to use the Python SDK, you import the SDK in the same way that you would any other kind of Python library. So those are the basics. And then, we have our convenience methods, and then we also have the convenience methods for completing requests on our APIs integrated into the Python SDK. And we also have our Python SDK set up to enable access to almost all of our APIs. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and go over to our collaborative document. I've set up a collaborative document so that we can walk through the code that we'll use to create a time series analysis of sentiments on a conversation. In case you're wondering, you can go to collab.research.google.com, and that will give you an interactive Python laboratory. As I said earlier, one of the things that we'll use today are pandas. Pandas are easy to use data structures, and they're designed to be data analysis tools for Python. And we will use the pandas data frames to conveniently store data in the X and Y axes. So a data frame is a two-dimensional labeled data structure with columns of potentially different types. And you can think of it kind of like a spreadsheet or SQL table or a dictionary of a series of objects. And I'm just going to go ahead and give you a small demonstration of what a data frame would look like in Python and how to plot it with the matplotlib library. So over here, I've imported pandas as PD, and then I've set up a variable with which to store a data frame. I have declared a data frame, and then I set up labels, and then inside the labels, I have these arrays. Now I take those labels and I map them to X and Y axes, and then I run the code. And essentially what I get here are X and Y coordinates with a blue line graph. It may not seem like a whole lot, but there hasn't been to date work in terms of how to display polarity scores. But Python as a tool for developers who are using or conversation data as a source of analysis now have the power to do that conveniently. So let's go ahead and we'll install Python. Sorry, not a Python. We'll install Symbol with the pip Python command. And as you can see here, we get real-time updates from the collaborative Google document, and it shows that our library was successfully installed. Now over here, I want to show you. Oops. Okay, perfect. I want to show you. This is the basic code setup. We're going to import Symbl.ai. And then we're going to configure a payload. The payload is what we will pass to one of Symbl.ai's APIs. We create a credentials dictionary with our app ID and app secret. And then we go ahead and we make a request right here. And we pass the credentials and the payload in the request. And then we get the data. And we make another call through one of the convenience methods on conversation and get the messages. And in addition to getting the messages, we're going to fetch the sentiment on those messages. So we're going to pass in a parameter. It might be a good idea to show you how the parameter looks in Postman so that you can use it as a cross-reference. Give me just a second here. Pull up Postman. And I just want to make sure that everyone can see the code over here. Is this big enough for everyone to see? Are you able to see that clearly, Akanksha?
Yes, it's visible. Maybe you can zoom it a little.
Okay, so it looks like there's a slight delay with access to my Symbl.ai workspace. So I'm going to go ahead and bypass showing you how the parameter is rendered in Postman. In any case, after I set up a response to store the data that I fetched through the conversation API's get messages method, I am going to store the data in two empty initialized arrays, the timestamps and polarity arrays, and then I'm going to loop through those, and I'm going to append just specific pieces of information so that I have a narrowly defined data set. And then, yeah, let me go ahead and do that right now. We'll take some time, and there'll be some logs that show us the progress. Right there, we've got a job ID, and now we've also got a conversation ID. So if we wanted to go over to Postman to check out the contents of the transcripts that were transcribed, we could use this conversation ID right here. Cool. So it says that the job is complete, which means that we've fetched the data. Now I'm going to take those arrays that I've used to load the timestamps as well as the polarity scores to create a data frame just like I did earlier. Cool. And then the last step here will be that I'm going to go ahead and plot the data frame. Fantastic. What I've done here is I've taken a conversation, I've transcribed the conversation, I have applied Symbl.ai's algorithms, I've used the Python SDK to apply the algorithms to hit the exact same API endpoints I would if I were in Postman. And after I applied Symbl.ai's algorithms, I loaded the data into a data frame with the Pandas library. Then I plotted the graph with the matplotlib library from Python. What we have here is a result that is more readily understandable to the human eye than what we would see if we were to ping the sentiment scores themselves.
We have a developer with an issue in chat really quickly.
Okay.
They are one of the SDKs is throwing a 403 error.
Oh, okay. So I'm almost finished. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the last part, and then we'll move on to troubleshooting. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. So if you didn't get an error, which we'll address here shortly, what you have here on the bottom is essentially a human readable display of what the conversation, what happened in the conversation in terms of polarities. This is significant because as a let's say, for instance, we're talking about being an administrator in a call center where customer satisfaction is important. A lot of people think that the average of the sentiments in a call is the most significant statistic. In all reality, it's the turn. If you're able to make an upset customer happy, then you are turning the conversation, driving customer satisfaction across the board. So, in this conversation's diagram, I'm not seeing the name of the agent or of the other speaker. So the data is anonymized at this particular point. All I see is whether or not the conversation is turned. And it seems as though if you look here at the graph, there's a huge dip and the sentiments drop. Okay, but you see that after the sentiments drop, they come up quickly and up again, and then they drop slightly again, and then up again. So as you can see from the diagram, the conversation has turned. It started out low, and then it went up and up. That is essentially one of the ways that you could detect the value of using Symbl.ai with the Python SDK. Your value as an administrator for a call center could be, hey, this graph is not turning up. Let me hop on the call and see if there's anything I can do to help out the customer. And I think that that's one of the use cases for the Python SDK that gives you value that no other product in existence right now is able to provide you. I mean, I went from literally like 1 or 2 lines of code directly to a human readable graph or time series analysis of a turn in a customer call. You know, imagine a dashboard where you had these types of graphs being displayed, you know, hundreds and hundreds of them, and you could set up application logic to trigger a narrow selection of them to monitor and to help you drive customer satisfaction. So that's one of the values. There are others too. Time series analysis is significant for monitoring through sensors, devices that are scattered about. You know, you can use time series analyses to detect or predict when an earthquake will happen by having sensors scattered throughout a specific region and mapped on a graph throughout time. And you can think of time series analysis for call center analysis in much the same way. You know, what is the turn rate? At what point? At what words are the conversations turning? So these are some of the ways that you can use the Python SDK with Symbl.ai to drive real-time engagements around your conversations. Okay, so now someone says that they're having an error with the Python SDK. My advice would be to check out how you configured your credentials. And then the other thing is to reach out to me on Slack. Join the Slack channel, and I will hop on a call with you, and I will figure out exactly what your what is throwing the error, and we will get you up and running as quickly as we can.
The error is, I think, is resolved. I've shared the new link again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, if anyone has any questions post, you know, after the demo, the best thing to do is to reach out to us on Slack, and we'll be happy to hop on a call to help you solve your integration-specific questions.
And since Eric was discussing about time series analysis graph, there are other areas as well, like sentiment analysis. Like I was discussing about, you could add Symbol.ai in your meetings, like Zoom meetings. Apart from that, you could also build maybe an application that tracks your mental health. Maybe let's say you make an application, an Android app, and you have Symbol APIs in between, and it tracks your moods. Let's say you conversate with that app through a chatbot daily, and through your conversation it tracks keywords and then plot it on a graph, like how you were there were any highs or lows or something, like in a 1 month series or maybe 2 month series. So that could be also an idea that you could work upon.
Yeah, there are many ideas. We're just showing you the tip of the iceberg. We know that your time is valuable. If we were to do a full workshop, we would require many hours. But with the tip of the iceberg, you're able to go much deeper than we are in the short time that we have available. Great. It sounds like Puneet will be there in the Slack. I just want to know if everyone that joined the stream today was able to sign up with the promo. If you guys could give us a thumbs up, it would be great to see that everyone who joined the stream today received the 3,000 minutes that we set up for you to receive through the promo.
Yeah. And we have also dropped the Slack channel link as well. And do share your experiences, like using hashtag Symbl.ai and tagging us on Symbl.dev or Symbl.ai. I can share that as well in the chat.
Yeah, it looks like we have a lot of people who joined. I see Drew. I want to give a shout out to Drew Pisha. Thank you so much for signing up. Didn't mean to display that. Okay, yeah. I want to give a shout out to all the people who signed up today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Eric and Akanksha. Really appreciate you guys hosting the workshop. I can see Symbol.ai being completely used in all of our different tasks that we have available for the hackers because your an explanation is very aligned with what our prompt is going to be, which we're going to announce at 12 a.m. today, 12 a.m. July 24th Pacific time. So be sure that you guys sign up on the dev post. Again, the link is in the description, and I hope you guys see there. All right, thank you. And you can always join the Slack channel and Discord channel if you have any questions.
Yep, we'll be there to help you get up and running with Symbl.ai.
Yes. And if you want to connect with us, I've also dropped my Twitter handle and Eric's LinkedIn handle as well. And thank you so much, everyone, for being a fantastic audience.
All right, thank you. See you guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.